Okay, so today we're talking about the group of rumours that is going around at the moment within the Resident Evil franchise, and things that have got the community talking. And there's some solid stuff out there for once. Like, there's not just balls of these quote-unquote leaks. And I do want to start the video with talking about that side of things real quick. More importantly, to do with Resident Evil 9. So I haven't made a video or talked about Resident Evil 9 in a long time. Mostly because I've been following it, like the information that pops up and whatnot, and it always seems to me like it's the same three people saying the same thing to each other, usually, every month or two for the past 6 months. And between them having these little debates about current leaks and stuff, they always seem to backtrack and backpedal on things that have been said, and it's like the same thing over and over again. So I'm kind of done with it. It actually happened like fairly recently as well, like almost a week ago, and it's just like, okay, I'm kind of done with this. Like, it's the same few key points on a leak about Resident Evil 9 with certain characters being involved and certain locations and stuff like that, and it's just regurgitated over and over again until someone says, actually, that wasn't true. This is actually what's happening, and it's like, okay, I'm kind of done with that. So in terms of my kind of stance with Resident Evil 9, I won't be covering it until it's officially announced and there's actual information to go off of, instead of this like ball of leaks that always returns every now and again. Nothing, personal towards those people. If it ends up being true, then good for them. But it's just getting old to see it over and over again. So until they announce it, which I'm hoping is this year, I don't know when, but hopefully it's this year, I won't be covering it. But on the positive side and the flip side of that, there is a few things going around that are positives and actually seem to have some concrete kind of, footing behind them to them being real. So let's talk about it. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about the big one that happened not long ago. Resident Evil 6 got rated for next gen, or current gen now, I suppose. So Xbox Series and PlayStation. Now, it didn't actually get the rating for PlayStation, but it got the rating for Series X. So I'd imagine that's going to follow suit. It's an interesting one because a lot of people are saying, is it getting remade? I genuinely don't think they would skip 5. I don't think that. And more importantly, a few days after that, I believe the Origins collection got rated as well. Now, if you don't know what the Origins collection is, it is the 1 and 0 remakes bundled together, which again got rated for current gen, so Series X and S, and I'd imagine PS5 as well at some point. And that kind of put a nail in the coffin. I don't think all three of those games are getting like huge remakes, especially considering it specifically said the Origins collection, which already exists. So the kind of the big thing with those is it's probably next gen ports or current gen ports, meaning Resident Evil 6 probably runs at a faster load time, higher FPS and stuff like that, and I'm going to imagine it's the complete edition, like the PS4 version, so base game, all multiplayer modes and stuff like that all together. And the Origins collection, which is 1 remake and 0, again, faster load times, higher frame rates and stuff like that. So I don't think that these big fully fledged remakes, I think that would be ridiculous. But having these next gen ports is good, I think, for those games. I really don't see the point in them, really, especially considering 6 has been ported from 3 to 4, and now from 4 to 5, or 360 to Series X and Xbox One. It's very, very strange, but here we are. Would I get it? Probably not initially, unless it was like a free upgrade. I probably wouldn't. But hey, if people haven't played those games or like those games and want to play them in a better quality, then there you go. Next up on the movie side of things, holy shit, I know. Right, so this was fairly recently, apparently under the kind of supervision of PlayStation Productions, which is the PlayStation's movie studios. They're the ones that kind of helped make the Uncharted movie. They're working on the Horizon movie. They are helping with the development of a Resident Evil movie reboot, which is more closely going to follow the original games, is what it says, initial games. So I'm going to imagine 1, 2, and 3. There was a rumor way back last year about movies and how 0 was going to get a film. So it could start from there, but it does say initial games, so it could be 0, 1, 2, or 3. I'd imagine that would count as initial games for that. In terms of the director behind this movie that's working on it, he did make a movie a few years ago called Barbarian, which is a horror film, so it's in good hands, straight away. I have seen that movie. People did say it was quite scary, but I think, for me, having watched so much and played so much horror stuff, it wasn't really that bad, but it was good. It was enjoyable. So hopefully there's a bit of hope there with it being good. Obviously, the last Resident Evil movie wasn't all that good at all. The Raccoon City movie, and then the old serious movies with Alice being the main character. I think some of them are okay, but they got a bit silly near the end. I think the first couple of them are probably considered fine, and I kind of like the first two, but they're not all that good. So here's hope for, you know, another attempt to be well done. I'm all for them trying again to make a decent film, but I think if this one does bad or isn't very good, I think it's probably time to call it quits because they've tried multiple times at that point and it hasn't hit. So I don't think trying again after this one, if it bombs, which it might not, but if it does, I don't think trying again is probably the best idea. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do it. You know, there's a couple of things there that are actual solid things that seem to be happening soon. Again, Resident Evil 9 is just a bit of a hot mess in a minute with information and stuff, so I won't be covering it until it's officially announced, which again I'm hopeful for this year. But what we do have, some upgrades to some old games coming to current consoles, and another attempt at a movie, which I'm definitely intrigued in seeing. But that is going to do it. I know there's been a bit of a delay in videos and in Resident Evil videos recently. If you have seen me active on YouTube lately, I have been playing other things, and that is kind of the start of me trying to start to branch out, and that's pretty much effective from now. So expect to see videos on different games, completely different types of games, and stuff like that. I will obviously still cover Resident Evil when there is new stuff or things I want to talk about, but from kind of the start of this year I did decide that I wanted to kind of move on to doing more of what I like. There isn't just horror games and stuff like that. So yeah, expect to see all kinds of things really. So not everything's going to interest you, but hopefully some of it will. And yeah, that's pretty much going to do it. So leave your thoughts on the topics in this video down below in the comments. Leave a like if you did enjoy, and subscribe if you are new. And as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one.